What is up, y'all? Welcome in. Come on, sit down. We are here for our weekly manifestation oracle message. This is like our weekly segment where we take a look at our goals and our dreams and our manifestations, whatever's at the forefront of your consciousness, probably of things that you're working towards. And we just check in and we see where our energy's at, where we should put our focus, where we should be directing our intention and our action and our energy. So before I turned record on, I'm really tired from work, so forgive me if I just say nonsensical things. So before I pressed record, I had this card was just like staring me in the face, and I pulled it out and it was playtime. And it's so funny because I was sitting there daydreaming about my 2 days off coming up and what I'm going to be getting up to. And I was just thinking how I wanted to try to get all of my chores done and all of the major things I needed to get done during the week so I won't have to do anything important or adult on my 2 days off. And so it really goes along with this week's theme, the week 6 of 7 in the counting of the Omer. Part of the process this week is drawing close to the Creator in such a way where it genuinely gives us that inner sense of rest, that everything is okay, everything is taken care of. Even if we're uncertain about the circumstances, it's like things are going to be okay. We have an inner peace inside, and so we can let go and have a good time. That is one of the most important aspects of observing Shabbat or a Sabbath every week. Giving that one day to just take your hands off of work and pushing the needle forward and just taking your hands off the wheel and letting yourself rest and be nourished and replenish and just connect with the Creator. Just get your mind into a sacred, holy place and have a good time and be joyous, eat, drink, and be merry. And that is like a commandment once a week to do that. And so part of the demonstration in that, it is an act of faith because you're letting go and you're saying, you know what? Come hell or high water, God's got this. I am taking this rest, and God commands that I take this rest and spend some time with the people that I love and connecting with the sacred and the wonderful things of life. And it shows an act of trust in the Creator that everything's not going to fall apart, that everything's going to be okay, and that, you know, the bread will be earned and you'll be provided for. So let's see. The dolphins know the importance of playing as joy creates miracles and manifestation. So again, one of the higher vibrational feelings is trust and optimism and appreciation and hopefulness, right? So those are the states that we have to be in to really let go and, you know, disconnect and play and get lost in the play and have a good time. And it's so important that we do that because it just opens us up to, you know, following a little detour that might lead to, you know, an Easter egg, right? Leading us into a synchronicity or a serendipitous moment. But anyway, it just opens up the channels for the universe. It gets us into really high vibrational feelings, and it prompts our creativity and makes us feel renewed and replenished, and it like refills our love tank. So it adds to our power. And sometimes it's really hard to take a break and to just let go and to go play. And I know that because even just how much I need these 2 days off, and I just like dreaming it, my mouth is watering thinking about just having like just going back to my normal schedule. But I went ahead and set auto pickup for the rest of the month, just because, or just like on this one, like Thursdays for the rest of the month, because, you know, we're in our busy season. But it's like, this is the practice though. This is me finding that balance between pushing myself out of my comfort zone to work and to achieve, towards achieving something, but also being able to have enough trust and faith to take a step back and not miss out on all of the joys of life, and not have a whole year go by where I have it's just a blur of nothing memorable, So this week again is about drawing closer to the Creator and becoming more like the Creator. And the Creator has rest, right? The Creator rested on the seventh day. And the Creator likes to play. And the Creator likes to be funny. And that's just every bit as much of an aspect of the Creator as anything else. So if we want to draw close to the Creator, we have to be like the Creator. And in order for the Shina, or the Spirit of God, to draw close to someone, and the Shina, that's the part of God that provides and protects and blesses and gives, right? The Spirit, or the dimension of Yosad, which that's where we're in this week. This is the dimension that corresponds with our week 6, but it's here. And so this dimension here is the next over dimension from the material dimension. This dimension here that we can feel, see, and touch and smell and taste, the material world, the multiverse, is here. It's not just Earth, it's all the universe, the galaxies, the multiverse, everything. Everything that's physicalized is here in this dimension. And see, it's drawn a little bit separate from the rest of the upper realms of the non-physical reality. But this dimension here, Yosad, this is where everything gathers in the storehouse before it's given. So everything that we receive comes from this dimension. This is the ultimate pipeline. So when we're vibrationally clogged up and blocked off, that cuts us off from our blessings, right? So playtime, that opens up the flow of the blessings to come through, because it's part of what helps us connect with our imagination, but also helps us, draw close and cleave to the Creator. Okay, this card is looking at me in the flesh. Let's see. Oh, pay attention. Notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. So remember, I was just saying that playtime can lead you to these little synchronicities or serendipitous events, right? So sometimes the universe is trying to push you in a certain direction and help you notice something. So pay attention. There could be a message that is coming towards you from different places that's trying to give you a hint of something that you need to push your plans forward, or some way that you need to approach your goals. There might be a course or something that you're seeing that you're thinking about it, and it just keeps showing up. There might be something. Pay attention to repetitious signs and synchronicities, because there's something I feel that we need to take a step back and unplug from whatever we've been grinding it out on, and just have some fun. And then it's going to get the energy moving, and then something is going to opportunities are going to start coming close. It's gonna rev up the magnetism. And so when the opportunities start to draw near, it's the universe is going to try to get our attention and warn us, so we'll be ready and we'll be prepared. Ooh, fun. Titillating. All right, let's see this card. Make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. So again, we were talking about unblocking this pipeline here. If you're feeling stuck, then maybe take your hands off the wheel, go do something else, have fun, get your mind off of it, and the creative juices will start flowing. It's like when you are like trying to remember a word or like what movie a certain thing came from, and you're like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, it's on the tip of my brain, and it's like, you know, that the moment you like let go and you go do something else and you completely take your mind off of it, like then it's gonna come, like the answer is gonna come. Same thing, if you're feeling indecisive or like you don't know what to do, just let go for a minute and have a good time. And it's like when you're reading something over and over again and you can't see the typos because you've been reading it over and over and over again, and everything is just like you're just filling in the blanks for yourself, essentially. So it's that same kind of idea right now. It's like, take some space from whatever it is that you've been pushing, just enough to just go have a good time. And then in that fun, I think lots of ideas are going to be coming through. Empowerment. You're more powerful than you realize. It's safe for you to be powerful. So make a decision could be also pointing to a tendency to be hesitant or to second guess yourself. You know, a lot of times we hold ourselves back or even just like slow ourselves down because we're overthinking and we're second guessing ourselves, and we're not certain and we're not confident in ourselves. And a lot of times it's just like you have to kind of fake it until you make it, and then the confidence comes after you face like the fear of, I don't know, making a mistake or like getting it over your head, and then you find your footing, you know? So you're more powerful than you realize, and it's safe for you to be powerful. When I was in production, I worked in film and television for like 13 and a half years. And I ended up being like a whiz kid on set. Like I just knew every department and, you know, had hands on things all the time. Worked on a lot of skeleton crews. And so, you know, I worked on some bigger things too, with bigger size crews, but just various things. But I just, I remember in the beginning though, I didn't know anything, and I never knew anybody in the industry. I would completely started like wet behind the ears, and I would just feel like liquid guts every day, just terrified to go to set, but also so excited. Like I just like wanted to be there so much, but I was so scared of like failing, looking stupid, because no one trains you. You don't have any training. It is trial by fire. It is learning on the job. And when you're on set, it's like every minute of the day counts. So everything has to be done urgently and correctly and perfectly, like the first time. There's like no room for screw ups. So it was like so terrifying. And I remember driving to set and being so scared, but also so excited, and just telling myself, just trying to like talk myself up and pump myself up and be like, you know what, you're a rock star. You're gonna be so fine. You can think so fast on your feet, and you're so much more handy than you give yourself credit for. And you know, you're really resourceful. You can put out fires really quickly. Like, don't worry. And I would just have to like tell myself these things because I was so nervous and so scared, but I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking do this anyway. And then at one point, like I went from being a PA to being a grip and an electrician, and I would have to drive these box trucks. And I was even in a relationship where we owned a box truck together, and so it was like had these dually wheels, and like one of the wheels was like always like the tire was always low, so I'd always have to be putting like air in this like tire, this big box truck with these dually wheels, and like driving this thing. It was all precarious, like sometimes down these like steep and winding like mountainous, like oh my god, like there were some terrifying times where and I didn't have training. I wasn't experienced. It was just like fuck, you just get thrown in. And that's how a lot of things are, especially if you're doing something on your own, or you're creative and you're following a unique path, or, you know, just a solo artist or whatever it is. It's like so much of these things, we have to figure it out as we go. And we're like cutting the trail step by step, every, you know, step of the way. And so a lot of times it is trial by fire and learn on the job and fuck up royally and embarrass yourself and feel like you're gonna shit your pants all day. Like you're gonna throw up any minute. That's okay. You just have to keep doing it and like push through, and then you build confidence because you're like, oh, I survived yet again. I lived to tell the tale. Traumatized, with a little more neuro dysfunctionalism to clean up, but hey, no, not much worse for the wear, I guess. So yeah, empowerment. Let yourself embrace failure and possible humiliation and infamy. And just, own it. And it's very empowering. Okay. Don't let anything hold you back as far as like thinking, oh, imposter syndrome, oh, I needed yet another sort of, like, be prepared, like, be responsible. Don't be a charlatan, but don't hold yourself back either. Being perfectionistic or downplaying, your capability. All right, playtime. Let's get a little more juice on playtime from the wisdom of the hidden realms. The altar priestess. I felt this coming up. Preparation, prayer, and sacred ritual. This is the name of the game this week. If you guys have been reading any of the posts on Instagram or just like watching our readings through the week, you will know we've been talking about this, that staying connected to the creator and that dimension where our blessings come through is dependent on our consciousness being in a state of fulfillment and our consciousness being that we know that we're connected with the creator always, that the creator's always here. And what is going to support that is being like in regular prayer practice and devotion, like, throughout the day, like really staying honed in and connected and keeping your energy up and keeping your optimism up and keeping your faith crisp and clear and strong, and then just acting in faith, believing that the means will be provided. And the means can be a lot of things. Like, for instance, yesterday and the day before, I didn't have a lot of time during the day, and I didn't think that there was any way possible that I could get the tasks done that I wanted to do. So it was very tempting to just throw in the towel or like be kind of slow or lazy. And I was like, you know what? No, I am going to do this thing and I'm determined. Time is going to bend and expand. And sure enough, I had just enough time both days to get the basics of what I wanted to do done. So believe, right? Have that heroic optimism to take a chance and try and put your best out there and make an effort, not just thinking, oh, there's no way I can pull this off. Like, I'm just not like, this is not the week for that. This is the week to stretch yourself. Okay. Awesome. Stretching your faith in the creator, but stretching your faith in the confidence that the creator can empower you. And the creator does empower us. We can't do anything without the creator, like giving us the animated life that like makes us more than a flesh bag, right? And so all of these things in the simulation are happening just so that the hero in us will remember ourselves and be able to be like, oh yeah, I can do this. It's like end of act 2 in the hero's movie, where they're like, oh, I'm up against this challenge. I've got my back against the wall. I don't know if I can go on. I don't know if I can go on another step. I don't know if I can face it all. And they, they have their moment, their moody montage. And then they're like, you know what? No, I can. I can do this. I can overcome. Okay, so sisters of the seasons, cycles of growth, natural, divine order, natural law. Okay, sorry. The font was so weird. I was like, what? What? Okay, cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order. So there is a cycle of growth that wants to come through. We've had different ways that that's been expressing itself this week. Like in our alchemy reading last week, we had like Jupiter referenced with the 10 material about expanding our abundance and expanding our opportunities. And so like there's a growth spurt that wants to come. Even like in the way that nature is always mirroring and like the outer world is always mirroring what's going on in the inside right now, like through probably for the last 3 or 4 weeks, it has rained here like every day nearly. And in past years, I would have been having to water my garden mostly every day, but I've only watered my garden twice since I put my garden in because it has rained so much. But when the sun does come out, everything just like expands and blows up and blossoms and blooms and is shooting up, getting really lush. And I was thinking to myself today, it even feels like we've had so much rain that my hair has even like suddenly grown. But I just feel a growth spurt coming through. And that's part of the message too this week, because what Yosad, that dimension, does is it brings forth blessing and our provision. Everything that we receive from the other side comes through that dimension. So all of these blessings and all of these opportunities and like our next level is like right here. What's going to get us there is that cleaving to the Creator, overcoming our hostility and vitriol like that was carrying over from last week, and just really sweetening that bitterness and getting into a state of peace, fulfillment, joy, confidence, belief in the Creator. You know what? This is the order. Divine order is always happening, right? Knowing that this is the game, right? Even when we think, oh, I'm bemoaning whatever this is, this challenge, this is annoyance, it's from the Creator. Like this is somehow rigged on your behalf to reveal something or for you to get points by overcoming something. Everything's happening for us. Everything's happening in divine order. So the more that we can keep ourselves in this light sense of belief and feeling like we're protected and we're provided for, like the more that we can feel that way, the more it actually does surround us in protection and align us with that divine order and that divine flow. And that's the natural law, is that like attracts like, right? The law of affinity. And so the more we share affinity with the light of the Creator, the closer we draw to the Creator. And then we are under the Creator's protection. We're in that cosmic flow, right? We're in that miracle zone. Like, see this pillar, these pillars with this arch here. Well, pretend like being inside of this, these pillars. This is like being in the protection, protected by the Creator, right? But in order to be in there, in that realm of protected provision and blessing of the Creator, we have to have vibrational affinity within here. And so we have to become more like the Creator. And that starts with peace and joy and appreciation, right? So we're working on those feelings this week. And then part of that is just like all reminding ourselves about the natural order, the natural law. It helps us take the taking things personally out of it, right? You're just like, you know what? This is the rules of the game. Like, I want to play the game. I want to win the game. This is how you win the game, right? Think of it as a game. Then it takes the sting out of things. The camel boy, small steps and asking for help. So we take it one step at a time. Don't get overwhelmed. Keep moving forward with optimism, right? Just believing that time and resources will expand as they need to. Don't be like irresponsible. Like, don't hear this and be like, I'm going to go on a spending spree on my credit card because the God will provide. It's like, that's not like in the, I think, higher octave approach of this. But if we're trying to do something of good and make something good and create something good, that's in alignment with our path, then like when we're in alignment with like our destiny and our purpose, then like the universe supports us in that. But it's not to say we never have challenge. Many times we do have challenges, like just like in the series The Mandalorian, you know, the hero has to face challenges every episode. But that's what reveals his legend, right? That's what reveals his his mystique and his larger than life myth. You know, that's what reveals his heroism about him, his badassery. Okay, and then one last card. The Horse King, assistance and control. I love this. So asking for help, prayer practice, ask for help from the angels, from your spirit guides, and from the creator. And then assistance will be coming for us. So give up control, give creator the control, right? Don't completely take, you know, your hands off the wheel and your eyes off the road and all that. But like, don't be over controlling. Let the universe shift and move and do its thing. And that might mean that your plans change or that things surprise you. Or so we've got to be like malleable, flexible, and adaptable. So we can't be like white knuckle grip trying to control every step of the way. We have to give creator control. We have to let go, right? So that's why at least one day a week we're taking our hands off of everything and not getting in the way. Just at least give creator one day a week that we're not fucking everything up for ourselves. Chill, go play, have a good time, take your mind off of it. You'll be renewed, you'll be replenished, and you will be realigning with that joyous state of fulfillment so that you are in that protective miracle zone and the flow of abundance is open. And you are connected to the creator. And as we've been learning this week, when we are connected to the creator, no harm can come to us. All right, y'all, that is all for tonight. Peace. We will be reconvening tomorrow for our weekly, tomorrow, Wednesday, our weekly alchemy message, where we will be unpacking our spiritual work for the week and our approach to how we're handling it all. All right, y'all. Peace.